talk about business practices. Um, that's something we don't talk about, and it's just kind of a reminder, especially with social media today. We don't want to be talking about how good or bad or anything this is, and what our changes in our business practices are. That's really just for the company. We don't want to be out there doing that. So you got to be very careful. It's very easy to put something on social media, especially in some of these real estate groups. There's a Connecticut real estate group. There's some nationwide ones. Attorneys will be looking at that and calling who's in that group. If there's a lot of talk about this lawsuit or commission, I probably would recommend that you drop the group. So, a couple things. Yesterday, we just heard that they filed a lawsuit. So what occurred is this all started in Missouri, I think it is, out west kind of thing, out central, in the central area. They just filed in Florida, and luckily we weren't named in Florida, but a bunch of people were. They just filed one in Pennsylvania. So these are what they call copycat lawsuits, since they had a lawsuit that brought a lot of money in. They'll then copy it state to state. So we're starting to see that. I mentioned last time that Anywhere Real Estate, which is Century 21 ERA, Coldwell Banker, Sotheby's, Corcoran, Better Homes and Gardens, has made a settlement that has gotten preliminary approval, which protects all their themselves, all their brokers, all their agents against any copycat lawsuit. So that's gotten preliminary approval. Final approval will be in the spring, but they're hopeful that we'll get through that piece. And that's why you're starting. We were on the a Zoom with the Anywhere attorney this week, and they were talking about the new lawsuits. They didn't expect to see a lot of Anywhere real estate companies named. Because the potential, it's been approved preliminarily, and they'd have to change their lawsuit midstream if they were letting Anywhere real estate out of it. So the one in Florida, I believe, does not have any Anywhere companies on it. So you're starting to see that, which is good. But where does this go? And a couple of these agents that I talked to were a little nervous. It's really about antitrust laws and disclosure to the seller and the buyer. And so if you're doing a full buyer presentation, getting a buyer broker signed, explaining to the seller who's paying and where that money's going, not using words like, well, it's customary, this is what we do. We all do this. This is the minimum. So not using words like that. You'll see that on the CTR video. If you haven't, again, watched it, get to it sooner than later, just to give you a good refresher. But if you're doing good business the right way, you'll be fine. Being part of Century 21 and that settlement is a nice thing to have too. So that's good. Where this lawsuit originated, they didn't they weren't talking to the seller that, I charged whatever I charge, and a portion of that was going to a buyer broker. They didn't discuss that. In many of our contracts in the state, that is discussed. We're coming out with some additional paperwork that we'll get out the beginning of January that will make it very clear to the sellers where the money's going and that they're authorizing it. MLSs are starting to get named in the lawsuit because it was the MLSs and NAR that had some minimum commissions in there. So if in the end, if your buyer, or rather your seller, doesn't want to offer any compensation, they don't have to. So we'll go through that as this gets a little clearer and we get this new form, which will happen in January, out. I'm going to open up to questions, but again, it's not something to necessarily worry about. We it'd be silly not to think, but I do think there will be a Connecticut lawsuit. Um, so I'd expect it, to hear it. Any questions on this? To make sure you do your CTR video, okay? It'll help. Gonna turn it over to PJ.
Recording.
Who was having some difficulty with his computer, so he might not be here yet. Who's next?
Well, Ray, you have a little announcement to make.
Oh, geez. I'm all in my lawyer mode. We're very excited to announce that starting on December 15th, we're opening in Glastonbury, Connecticut. We've worked, this is something that we've actually worked for the last 4 years to get. There were a couple of Century 21s in Glastonbury. One moved out. They didn't want to let someone else in. And then we worked some magic, and we have a brand new construction building. It's really, really a great space, good location right off the highway. So that'll open December 15th. So we're excited about that.
Thank you. All right, we're going to turn it over to mortgage.
Good morning, everyone. Patty, can you just go to the next slide, please? All right, so this is big news for us with Allpoints. CHAPA has now finally opened up the time to own program for brokers. So now we are able to do the time to own program. For those of you that are still scared of CHAPA, scared to accept CHAPA offers, it's honestly, we sat through the CHAPA training yesterday. There's nothing special about it that should scare you guys away on the listing side or the buy side. This time to own program, for those of you guys that don't know, it's a grant. It's a forgivable grant for as long as you live there. So basically, it could be anywhere from $25,000 to $50,000. Every year on the anniversary of your closing, 10% of that gets forgiven. It is a great program. It helps people with a down payment towards the closing costs. Now, this can be piggybacked third position. So it can be, you can get a CHAPA first loan, whether it's conventional, I shouldn't even say a CHAPA, you can get a conventional first loan, FHA, VA, USDA, with the CHAPA benefit of the lower interest rates. You can also get a down payment assistance loan. So you can still get a CHAPA with the DAP, and you can also get this time to own program. So the DAP can be used, they're changing the guidelines on the DAP, but even still, that DAP can be used for closing costs. You can still get a seller credit if you want. That DAP can be used for the down payment, and the time to own is an additional benefit. Since this came out, we weren't able to do it as brokers, so we were kind of, trying to sell against it, basically, if you will. And the main reason was because if the rates come down, you're going to want to refinance, and you're going to have to pay back that portion of it. Now, there's pros and cons to this for sure. And I think this is going to be a great benefit for us with Allpoints, because it's going to open up it's just another tool in our toolbox. But definitely, if you guys have any questions, reach out to either one of us to go over these details with you. Next slide, please. All right, conforming loan limits. We've talked about this already. We've actually upped it to 7. Is this the next one, Patty?
This is the next slide.
It is, yeah. Okay. So, okay, let me backtrack a little bit. No, it's fine. So this is the history of the conforming loan limits. From 2006 up until 2016, it was stuck at 417. Obviously gradually they've gone up. At 2019, when COVID happened, you can see it kept coming up. If you go to the next slide, please, it'll show what the new loan limit is. We had listed it at 750. It was just a placeholder until Fannie Mae announced it. Fannie Mae has announced it, and now it's at 766 for a single family house. That's the loan limit. That's not the purchase price. So you can get 766 550 conventional loan, you know, that's not a jumbo. So, you know, it's definitely a huge upgrade. It went up about 40,000, and as you can see, the number of units have gone up as well. So you can get a conventional loan on a 4-unit for 1.4 million. I'm gonna kick it off to Cheryl for the next segment.
Thanks, Cliff. As we talk about the loan limits increasing, this is kind of why. Last Thursday, Kelly shared a graph from Pulsenomics. The panel of experts are predicting home values will continue to increase year after year. And what does that look like for buyers who wait to purchase? So let's put some numbers to it. I used $350,000. And next year in 2024 is actually the lowest increase that they're predicting of 2.17%. So if you have a buyer who doesn't want to buy this year and wants to wait, that $350,000 house is now going to cost him $357,000, almost $358,000. And if we keep jumping ahead, you can see in year 2027, your $350,000 house is now going to cost you almost $400,000. And if we go to the next slide, if you were to buy today in 2023 with an FHA loan with just putting 3.5% down, your original loan amount would be $337,750. After making 48 payments in 4 years, your balance would now be $322,000, with an estimated increase in value to almost $400,000. By purchasing today in 4 years, you now have equity in your home of over $77,000. And that's pretty impactful. And, you know, that's some of the numbers that you can kind of share with your clients who are on the fence about buying now versus waiting for, you know, interest rates to come down. They're not forecasting the price of your house to come down. And next we have Mike, who's going to talk about non-warrantable condos.
Good morning, everybody. So we did a search with Nicole. Nicole was a big help with this. We ran a search to the MLS in regards to the condo listings from Pensacola all the way to Panama City. And we found that there were over 2,300 condo listings. That's a lot. And most of these are probably non-warrantable. So through the non-warrantable, we have the ability to finance non-warrantable condos, okay? And we could do such loan programs such as second homes, investment products, foreign nationals, that's ITIN, and self-employed, okay? Agents, please reach out to me if you have any listings in any of the condos that are non-warrantable, because we can actually be proactive and get those condos already approved, you know, with some of the lenders that we work with. Okay, so please reach out to me if you have any questions, and I'll be glad to help you throughout the whole process. Okay. And then next would be Joanne.
Hi, everybody. So we just want to thank, as you can see from all of this information, there is absolutely no reason not to reach out to Allpoints Mortgage, because we have an arsenal of products from non-QM to now the time to own, which is all really excited. We have had so many of you that have given us referrals this year, and in November in particular, these people we want to thank especially for closing in November. So Lucas, Casey, Kathy, Kim, Arvin, Danny, and Jana, thank you very much. Next slide. And year to date with Century 21 Allpoints, we have had deals with over 42 different agents, multiple deals with 17 agents. And don't forget that we're licensed in Connecticut, Florida, Mass, and Rhode Island. And we just want to say a special thanks to our top year-to-date agents who have referred us business. David Hughes is #1. Thank you so much, David. We also followed by a 4-way tie with Danny, Jamie, Kathy, and Marianne Stanley. Next slide. And don't forget, our toy drive is well underway. We have been setting up boxes in offices, and the toys are due by December 13th. So don't forget to reach in and get some toys for the boxes, or we do have a special link that's been sent out in Kelly's emails in the mornings that you can donate a monetary donation. But thank you to all who have already donated, and we look forward to another 6. Next slide.
Thanks, you guys. Carl and Tom are up.
Happy holidays to everybody. And so we wanted to go over some MLS statistics. With all the holiday parties coming up, you're going to be having conversations, real estate conversations, and people are going to be asking you what's happening in the market. So these are some great stats to learn. And if you want to get particular stats, because these are for the whole state of Connecticut, if you want to get them for your area, your town, remember that you can go to InfoSparks, Fast Stats, or you can go into Connect or Matrix and pull statistics. And if you need help doing that, don't be afraid to reach out. We're just going to go through some real quick stats for the state of Connecticut. So next slide, Patty. So homes for sale, everybody knows there's a lot less homes for sale. And you can see this graph shows how many homes were up for sale from January 2020 through November. And you can see a huge drop, which we all know. Next slide. And month supply of homes has been flat for most of the year, which is at a very low level of only 2 months supply of homes through the state. Again, you can see the huge drop, and we all know about what's happening with the inventory and the low supply. Next slide. So what's the average percent of list price we're now getting? It's actually one of the highest we've had over the last several years. We're now on average at 102.7% of the last list price. That's what's happening with the sale prices. We're getting 102, over 102, almost 103%. Next slide. So I went back and I looked at what was happening in 2018, 19, and 20, and you'll see all the number of units. Of course, we know that there were a lot of units sold in those years, but look at the median sale price. And this goes to what we just heard from the mortgage people, that obviously our sale prices are increasing. So the median sale price in 2018 was 220, then to 225 in 2019, and jumped to 257. The average sale price in 2020 was 357. But then the other thing to look at is the total sales volume. So in 2018 and 2019, we were almost at 16 billion was the total sales volume in the state of Connecticut. And in 2020, of course, it leaped to almost $22.5 billion worth of sales. So what's happening now? Next slide. So closed sales, obviously, the number of closed sales are way down. Through November, we're at just shy of 35,000 units have sold. Now, this is only for 11 months, not 12 months, so we still have a whole month to add on to that. But yes, we all know that the number of sales are down. Next slide. But what's happened to the median sale price? We were talking about in 2018, it was around $220,000 to $225,000. Now we're at $360,000 for the entire MLS throughout the state of Connecticut. And obviously the graph shows that huge increase. And next slide. And the average sale price now through November through the state of Connecticut is over $500,000. It's at 503,877, just shy of 504,000. Next slide. So what's happened to the closed sales? Even though we have a lot less sales this past year versus 2018, 2019, we're at almost $500 million worth of volume through November. We have a whole nother month to go yet. So we're probably going to end up the year probably $18.5 billion worth of sales, which is substantially higher than what we did in 2018 and 19. And those were years that people thought were pretty good years in real estate in Connecticut. No, they weren't the COVID years, but we're going to blow past those numbers because of our huge increase in sales price. So these are things you can research. You should know some of these facts. So when you go to those parties, you can talk. Remember, a lot of these people anymore, a lot of your friends and neighbors, they go on the internet. They already know a lot of these things. So you can't just say anymore, hey, the market's good. You need to know some of these statistics so they can see that you really know what you're doing and that you're very informed about the real estate market. So have a great holiday.
Thanks, Tom. Turning it over to Carl.
Morning, everybody. It's
Morning.
showtime. Prospecting is a contact sport. We all know that. You can't prospect without contacting somebody. And so what I want to talk to you about today is another form of prospecting. So next slide, please, Patty. This market has created a lot more rentals than we've had historically, and that's because of lack of inventory. And so there's an opportunity for us to pick up people from the rental market, to talk to them, reach out to them, possibly becoming a client. And the way to do that is if you go into the Smart MLS and you do a rental search, and this is the screen that you'll see. And if you look down to closed, what I did is I put in the units that were closed on January 1st of this year through March 31st, because they're about ready to anniversary in the next 30 to 90 days. Those are the people I want to reach out to see if they need any assistance going forward. There's two things at work here. One is they may need another rental, or they may want to look for a home because they didn't find one a year ago, and so they had to do something, so they parked themselves in a rental, so they may be willing to come back. And we know that historically, people would like to work with the same agent that helped them if they could remember their name. So my sense is that you've got an opportunity here because the people that helped them with these rentals probably didn't and haven't stayed in contact with them. So when you click on the results from this page, you will get a screen that looks like this. I happen to do it for Stanford. And from the first quarter of this year, there are 255 rentals that were recorded. And this is the screen that will pop up. And it's going to be lowest to highest rental. And you can see, if you look at the status date, if you can see that, that just tells you when it was closed. And, you know, you can pick and choose. You can look at, at addresses. What you want to think about doing now is after you've made all your phone calls, sit down and think about sending out a letter to the people who have rented these properties. You know, it could be, dear resident, something to that effect, and invite them to talk to you about the opportunity to maybe re-rent or go out and look for a home. To get more information on that specific property, you click on the listing and you'll go to, next slide, Patty. And you'll go to the listing and you want to bring up the record, public record tax report. Now I've got the whole address, so I've got the zip code to work with. So I know where I can send my letter to the current resident. Now I can do another bit of prospecting with this same form. Now I want to think about talking to the homeowner, because these are non-owner occupied. And you can see this particular one happens to be in a trust, but there's an address I can send something to. As Tom indicated, the prices of homes are at record highs. We need the inventory. Here's an opportunity to talk to people who own inventory that they don't live in, that they may be able to max out the return on their investment. You know, this market will adjust. Fortunately, we're still in unfortunately, we're still in a buyer's market, which is good if you're a seller, and these people could be sellers. So you've got two things to work with. You've got A, the person who is currently residing in the property, and B, the person who owns the property. So I can do like a dual prospecting here for the price of one. So I recommend you think about things like this. This is prospecting outside the box, but it could have a return, and I think it will have a return. So with that, I want to wish everybody a happy holiday, and we'll see you next week, okay? Thank you.
Thanks so much, Carl. All right, now we're going to turn it over to marketing and transaction, your teams there. Larissa actually is not on the call, but we're going to turn it over to marketing for a marketing update. Devin, Daniel, you're on.
So we'd like to welcome Peter Kotradis to our marketing team. He has come on board and is sitting in our West Hartford office, and he's handling the West Hartford, Manchester, and Wethersfield offices. And, you know, he's a great addition. He's jumped right into the marketing and learned a lot of the programs, and definitely reach out, say hi. And he's, you know, going to be filling some of marketing requests right in office and some of the marketing requests that you sent to the Allpoints marketing email. So welcome aboard, Peter. And he is on somewhere here. And then, so we're also, as a team, we are busy doing lots of holiday labels. I know everyone has their contact and their SOIs, and we are formatting labels for cards, for pies, for many different occasions that you guys are using to reach out to your SOI, which is great. And we're going to try and focus a little bit too past the holidays into the next year, and try and get everybody sort of focused on New Year and prospecting and marketing and what are the goals for the year. You know, it's no better time than now. Why wait till the holidays are over to start thinking about what your goals are for next year and prospecting and marketing. So if you have any ideas or something that you feel you want to address, feel free to reach out to the marketing email. We're going to try and come up with some ideas of our own and get everything sent out at least maybe before the first of the year.
Thanks, Deb. Daniel, are you on? I'm not sure that I saw him on there, but you there, Dina? Just want to give Florida a reminder, your marketing support is there. Daniel, who sits in Niceville, is there to help you. Again, the same thing like Connecticut. You know, if you have mailing lists, you need labels done for your holiday cards, let us know. Anything you want a postcard design to send out, video shoot, whatever, please reach out to Daniel. You know, you can email into c21floridamarketing@gmail.com, and he's also doing marketing on your actual properties as well. So definitely reach out to Daniel. Now I'm going to turn it over to transactions update. Nicole, are you on?
Here.
Thank you. All right.
Good morning, everybody. This is just a reminder for the Florida agents that now that you have a transaction management program, we will be emailing you about a week before your transactions close and ask you if you'd like the QSS and or PCC program. The QSS is a survey that will go directly to your client, and once they leave the review, it'll go to the Century 21 website. And the PCC is the Preferred Client Club, which is only $30. And for 5 years, your clients will be touched 7 times each year, which is a pretty good program. So just a reminder, if you see that email, just let me know if you want it, and then I can put it on your file and keep your clients up to date.
Thanks, Nicole. And thanks for all you're doing down there, you guys. She's fantastic. We're going to get some testimonials out for the people she's been working with. Feel free to reach out for her. She's a great resource and very knowledgeable in the transaction and can help you. Okay, we're going to turn it over to Kelly for some company updates. Kelly, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Thanks, guys. And I just wanted to kind of reiterate, you know, our marketing and transaction coordination support here, I believe, is really next to none. We really strive to help you guys to either give you more time to do more business, or to give you more time to spend, doing the things that you love, spend time with family, hobbies, that kind of thing. So honestly, I encourage all of you guys to really, if you haven't already, maybe in the new year, you make it part of your goals to really use and engage with the support that we have here. Our staff is fantastic, and they're really willing to go out of the way. In marketing, Debbie wasn't kidding when she said, if you have any ideas, we'll figure it out, so the sky's the limit. You just need to reach out and engage and use the support that we have here for you. So, if you ever, have an idea, or, feel kind of nervous about asking, don't, think out of the box. We're here to help. We think out of the box. So, just reach out at any time. That's why we're here. So I just wanted to reiterate that. And now I will give you a couple of company updates. Let's go, Patty. Oh, you want to do this one, Patty?
Sure. Okay. So, you guys are getting some emails. We're doing some marketing of the website, starting to roll forward with it. PJ did a great podcast. It's on our blog on the website. If you want to pop on and take a listen to that. He did a fabulous job. It is really good. And we're pushing that out as well. So we're going to send you some snippets along the way to get to know certain aspects of the website, and like you to jump on and get to know it. Just, it is there to help you. And that's what we built this around, not only to look good, look pretty, but to help you as an agent and us as a company. So today I'm just going to go over live chat. So anybody who's been on the site probably knows live chat will pop up in certain instances. It's AI powered for lead gen through live chat. It's 24/7 available. We work with them for some proactive triggering and engaging. We're still working with them daily. Like, we get a transcript of every chat that happens. So as a lead, and if there's a question that's asked, there was a question asked on something that the AI didn't have the answer to. We literally had to go back to our developers, say, here is the answer. Here it is by state, here it is by city, here it is by county, whatever. So they had the answer now. And then when that chat came up again and that same question was asked, the AI had the answer for it. So we're, tweaking and making it, really fine tuned so that it helps us till we can get qualified leads to you guys. So we're on there. We're getting leads through that. We're getting chats with potential clients. People are signing up for the website. It's working. So we just want you guys to get on, use our tool, send your clients there. If they click on, if they're in there underneath yours, everything goes to you. We're not sending it back to you. It's coming directly to you, and you're getting the chat as well. So jump on and take a look at it. I'll turn it back over to you.
Thanks, Patty. And just a quick reminder, we have our conference coming up again this March 4th through 7th, the 121 experience. It's going to be at the Fontainebleau in Las Vegas. I believe this is a brand new hotel, so should be a lot of fun. Always a lot of good information, networking events and opportunities. So get that on your calendar. We always have a great time there. Next slide. This is just a quick reminder. Ryan had talked about, this is for Connecticut, Florida. I assume probably we'll end up having something similar. But I've sent around several messages. The deadline is December 31st to watch this quick, about 5-minute video on antitrust. I'll be sending out a couple more times. You just log on to the CTR site and watch that. But they do need to know that you did watch it, and everyone has to complete that by December 31st. Next slide. All right, the fun stuff. The next 2 weeks, we are going to be getting together for our holiday celebrations. This weekend, Saturday, December 9th, we're having our Florida holiday celebration at the Hurricane Lanes in Destin. If you have not RSVP'd, please do so ASAP so we can get an accurate count. We are having an ugly sweater contest there, or ugly outfit contest there. and I'm not sure if this sweater on the screen is a real one, but they may win ugliest sweater if they're wearing that. So we're excited to see you guys this weekend. Again, if you haven't RSVP'd, please do that ASAP. Thank you. And in Connecticut next Thursday, we will be back at the AquaTurf Club. We have a ton of RSVPs. We're looking to a great crowd there. We haven't had a company-wide holiday celebration in a few years since before COVID, so we're excited for that. And again, if you have not RSVP'd, please do that today. Thank you. We're excited to see everyone next week. And now we have Karen. I think you're here to give us a little relocation update.
Yes. Hello, everybody, and happy December. Can you believe one more month? Well, actually now less than a month. Referrals are still coming in. We're getting them. It's a good thing. If you can go to the next slide, Patty. We had AGR's place. Joe Christ is again on a roll, as always. He's my AGR king. Placing agent generated referrals into our affinity programs of Navy Federal, AARP, American Airlines, Realogy Military, or it's not Realogy, sorry, Anywhere Military Benefits. And he did open one this month, but also closed 2 more. So his clients will be receiving a check in 3 weeks, which is awesome. And Tatiana also had a closed AGR for the month. Next slide, please. Outbound referrals that we placed, Colin Farmer, he placed 2. He's in our Stratford office. Steve Travali and Chad
Sorry, Chad.
Krasinski. That's all right. He doesn't mind being called something else. And also we have actually some of the outbounds that were placed within the last 2 months. We have 4 that are under deposit right now. 2 are closing this week and 2 are closing the first week of January. So thank you. And those agents will be getting a nice check, especially after the holiday. How nice that will be. So if you have referrals that you need to send, please give me a shout and I will hook your people up. Next slide. So let me just mention one other thing. So I actually had a call with a few of my counterparts around the country this morning, just real quick, just to see how everybody's doing. Everybody's in the same status as we are. Their states are still low inventory, but this is like Tennessee, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, more northeast this side. I know Florida is got inventory, which is great. I wish we can kind of like mix our people up and that would be wonderful. But they're experiencing the same things. Also, we have agents who do Op City and stuff, and stuff is trickling in. The buyers are kind of holding off, but I think if they know what's available to them, we would see an uptick of things. So make sure you get your buyers well educated and use our Allpoints mortgage team. I'm so excited that Time to Own, you guys are doing it, because unfortunately I had 3 clients that were using Time to Own and I had to go elsewhere, which I did not want to do. So I'm so excited. But anyways, we'll see you next year. Happy New Year. But if you need anything in the meantime, please call, email, text.
Thanks, Karen. And Patty, can you just go back to the last slide for 1 second, if it's not too much of a pain? I just wanted to mention, Karen said Joe Christ is her AGR king. You know, if you see along the bottom of the page, Navy Federal, American Airlines, Anywhere Military Benefits, AARP, these are very important partners that we have. And I just wanted to remind everyone, you know, it's not always about, you know, getting your name up on the screen, although that's fun. But Joe Christ is actually using these programs and offering them to his clients, and he is winning listings because of it. You know, Allpoints Mortgage talks about more tools in the toolbox. Guys, I don't know, you know, we talk about it almost every month and almost every time we see you guys, but these programs at the bottom of the screen offer cashback rewards to your clients or airline miles in the American Airline Advantage case, but these are programs and opportunities that other real estate companies cannot offer our clients. So when she says Joe does a great job, he really does a great job, but he is actually putting people into these programs and getting cash back for his clients. But more importantly for Joe is he is winning the listing over the competition, because again, it's benefits that we can offer that they can't. So I think sometimes we put that to the wayside, and I think it needs to be forefront every day in your prospecting, and you're talking to your sphere of influence and past clients. I guarantee you put one of them into these programs and they get their check 3 weeks after closing, they are not going to forget it. They're not going to forget you, and they are going to give you more referral business. So I just thought that was important to mention again. Thanks. Next slide. My favorite part of the meeting is welcoming new to the company agents who have joined us over the last month. I'd like to quickly mention them. Next slide. We have Ronald in our Wethersfield office, Brenda in West Hartford, Donna in our Stratford office. Welcome. Next slide. We have Carmen in our Stamford office, Tommy in our Wethersfield office, Candace is back with us in our Crestview office. Welcome back, Candace. Angelo in Stamford, Nicole in Niceville. We have Kimberly joining our Enfield office. Welcome. We have Tyler in our Crestview office and Jennifer in our Stamford office. Welcome to the company. As always, when you see these people in the offices and around, please welcome them, let them know about the support and the opportunities that they have with us, and make sure if there's anything you can do to help and make them feel welcome and at home, please do that. And I appreciate, because I know that you guys always do that. Thank you. Next slide. And we have Jody Tussing. I think you're on this morning, Jody.
I'm here. Thank you,
Hi.
Kel. Welcome, everybody. Looking forward to 2024, but we still have some great classes this month. Next slide. So I did the top 5, PJ, and the top 5 for us, Century 21 Allpoints. PJ Lewis is going to do a session Wednesday, January 13th, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, regarding converting and closing buyers. A lot of people may be missing some of the due diligence items on there, so it'll be great for anyone to join and give value to why buyers should be working with you and paying your commission. And then the second one, Larry Garfinkel and myself are doing a session called, and he's our attorney, amazing, closing costs and contract dates. So everyone has questions about this. This is going to be open. People can come and ask questions, and we'll lay out the different contracts that we have using in the state, and what's going on with those dates, and how to give your sellers and buyers closing cost information. And then we have Jordan Dennis back. So Jordan, top agent in our Florida Blue Marlin Pelican, he's amazing with social media, and he really walks the walk on this. He actually makes a lot of money using social media, and he is going to share his secrets Wednesday, the 20th at noon Eastern Standard, 11 Central. And then Ryan Peterson, I really want you guys to think about this for the coming year. The way to really increase your business is to do the things that Carl was talking about, and also to be able to give the information that Tom Schrum was talking about. That's those statistics. And then call everyone you know. Call around listings, call your geo farms, reach out to people, direct message on social media or text. So we do this with Ryan Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 9:30 a.m. to noon. We role play scripts for the first 20 minutes, and then we get on the phones for 2 separate times. Everyone goes into a private Zoom room, so you're not making calls in front of anyone else, but we are there for you if you need help, if you need phone numbers. So if you want to really expand your business, reach out to Ryan Peterson and get on this. This is a lot of fun. We have Florida and Connecticut involved in this. And we have the AquaTurf. And Patty, at the bottom, your toolbar is there, but I just want to share the phone numbers, especially for the newer agents. So the first one is the help desk for 21 online. If you ever can't sign in or have any kind of problem, you can call them 877-331-2765. And your leads are coming from this phone number. Again, I had somebody reach out to me that I know we've had the conversation, but they said after almost a year of being here, they didn't realize that these were leads because it's an out-of-state number. I think it's California. No, it's Colorado. So 903-294-4442 is actually the number that your leads come from. Next slide.
Joe, can I just clarify on number 1? Is that January 13th or December 13th? For PJ?
December. Did I do that again?
Okay, so this typo on number
Sorry.
1, make sure it's December 13th. We'll
Wednesday,
get that correct.
December 13th, which is next week, next Wednesday.
Okay.
Okay, next slide. Thank you, Patty. It wouldn't be me without a Mystique. Okay, and these are corporate top 5. So keep your eyes open. Today, there's a session you can sign up for if you do it right away from 2 to 3, and it's about open houses. So it's about lead gen open house. Refresh your mind. One thing PJ said, if he was on this call, he said, listen, do an open house before the end of the year. So let's make that happen. This is a great refresher. And then tomorrow is another good one. It's lead gen for farming. So these are talking about geofarms. 11 to 12, sign up. And the sign up comes in the email Kelly sends out every day, which you got this morning. On the 12th of December is Pipeline to Gold Mine. This is your circle of influence. It's a workshop, 2 to 3:30, well worth your time. And then on the 21st, if you have not done your goals yet, this is a great class to take, business planning. They get into the weeds with what you make, what your different expenses are as a realtor, and how to make sure you're doing the right things to reach your goals. And lastly, last week of the month, a quick class, 1 to 2, find more sellers equals more listings. And thanks again for making 2023 a great year. I have loved working with all of you.
Thanks,
Thank
Jody.
you.
Good stuff. And thank you, everyone. I'm not sure if anyone has anything else to share or questions that you guys have. But I do want to thank everyone for being here. Again, Ryan went over a lot of good information about what is going on in the industry with this, the class action lawsuits and the buyer broker commissions. So if anyone has any questions offline, please do not hesitate to reach out. Again, just remember, it's really about disclosure and disclosing and making everyone aware and being transparent in everything that we do. And like he said, if you do good business, then you're doing it the right way. But if you have any questions or come across anything, please let us know. PJ apologizes for not being able to be here this morning. But thank you everyone for being here. Does anyone have anything else? No. All right. Well then, have a great day. Enjoy the sunshine while it's here. And we'll see you guys soon. Thanks, guys. Have a great one. Bye-bye.